I don't think you understand what I'm saying. I'm saying to you that if we get behind Boris Johnson and he does the right thing, not only will he win a big majority, he'll be a hero.
With me now in the Red Lion pub is an old friend of the podcast, Nigel Farage, the Brexit Party leader. How are you?
Very well indeed.
You're,
yes.
you're looking quite trim and fit.
Well, clean living. It's now paying dividends.
Off the booze.
Well, not
There's an election to win, isn't there?
Not completely. But no, there's a lot to do.
Yeah.
There's a lot to do. 63 days to go now until the 31st of October. A new Prime Minister who, and let's be fair, has started off with great energy, optimism, and said some wonderful things. In fact, I thought several times, I was listening to myself in the European election campaign, infrastructure spending, mobile phone connectivity, great stuff.
And dealing with the Great Divide up north and, all that stuff.
I mean, this is the sort of Brexit Party.
But isn't that your problem? He's nicked all your best lines.
Oh, yeah, but he's got to deliver, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's all well and good marching the army up to the top of the hill.
If he does deliver a no-deal Brexit,
Well,
you're out of a job by November, you're back to the fishing.
If he delivers a no-deal Brexit, we'll come to the Red Lion. Right, you and
For
I.
a proper night.
We'll be
not before 11.
And they'll kick us out at dawn. I'd be delighted if he delivers it. But the problem is, that isn't what he's trying to do. And I'm surprised how few commentators have actually understood what the Boris plan is. It's dead simple.
What is it? Go on.
It's dead simple. Spotted a mile off. All right, you have a Queen's speech, October the 14th. You announce in that Queen's speech a whole load of populist policies, and it will be
schools, policing,
infrastructure,
all that.
etc. Don't worry about the fact the budget deficit's going to go up, because actually the argument you can borrow money cheaply, and so that's what he'll do. And he'll say we can only do these things, we can only bring the United Kingdom into the 21st century and put this plan into place if we get Brexit delivered by the 31st of October. And I will be off in 3 days' time to Brussels, to the European Summit, where we're going to achieve a huge negotiating victory, because Monsieur Barnier has agreed some significant changes of wording to the backstop, and with the backstop removed in its current form, the rest of the withdrawal agreement is satisfactory.
So he'll say it's removed, even if it's not removed.
Well,
do you think?
They will fiddle around with the language. I mean, that's what they do in Brussels. They're terribly good at it. And he will come back and cry victory, and he'll say now to the House of Commons, if you vote for this, we get Brexit, we can move on with our wonderful modernisation programme. If you don't vote for this, there will be no Brexit. That's what he'll do. And then if he loses, he'll call a general election, and he'll say, I'm on the side of the people, it's Parliament that have robbed us of Brexit. That's the plan, and here's the problem. The problem is the withdrawal agreement, even if the backstop was removed completely, is the worst deal in history, because it will leave us locked. And in fact, it's very difficult to see how we'd ever leave the customs union, even without the backstop. The very clever way in which the political declaration links back to the withdrawal agreement. I mean, the 39 billion
that stays
is actually the least of my concerns. It's all the rest of
European Court of Justice is the problem?
For at least 8 years.
Yeah. That committee running the two.
Who's going to be on that? And how's that going to work?
Barnier and exactly. Ollie Robbins. No, he's gone now.
Fisheries, no hope for fisheries. Free trade deals. You wait. President Trump, my friend the president, who said...
Really?
Who said...
I had no idea.
Well, I was with him the day Boris became PM.
Were you?
Because I was over. I was over in the US, and
did you help with his tweeting that day?
And he was no ridiculous idea. But and he was right about one thing. He was right that Boris would bring energy, much needed energy, to the job. But one of the reasons Trump is saying all these very positive things about Boris is he believes Boris is going to deliver Brexit on the 31st of October, and that we can move ahead with a big trade deal.
What did Trump say when he heard the news, or you may have told him the news? I don't know.
He's very pleased. He's very, very pleased.
Do you see Boris as a mini-me slightly or not?
Well, I think a lot of the American media do, and I think they're in for a shock, because I think actually in many other policy areas...
Well, he's quite a soft Tory, isn't he?
There were... Well, yes, of course he is, but
immigration and things.
Well, he believes in amnesties and all sorts of things for illegals, and so there are differences. But when Trump realises that what Boris actually wants to do is to sign us up for something that would mean we couldn't have any free trade with the USA, and I thought the John Bolton idea of doing it sector by sector, so you do the easy bits,
manufacturing,
and leave the difficult, contentious stuff to the end. I thought that, when he realises that actually what Boris wants to do is to take us into a transition period of 18 months with the option to extend by a further 2 years, and that it will be right at the end of his second term as president.
You're wasting this
before we can probably do anything.
You're wasting a goodwill with Trump
Yeah,
that way.
yeah. So I look. My objective now is twofold. Firstly, to prepare the Brexit Party for a general election, and I think we've done some astonishing work on that over the course of a summer.
You paraded your candidates this week, haven't you? At a big
we had
rally.
We had 540 of our prospective parliamentary candidates there in Westminster in one room, and I think just that image said, we are ready.
And there were no fruitcakes in there.
Apart
from the leader. I'm joking.
No, look, I think what's remarkable, I'll tell you what's really remarkable, that we've got 635 people out of the thousands that have applied who have made it through, been through the vetting, been through the screen testing, and they're ready to fight the election. And yet, when I say to them, you must be prepared, if it's in the national interest, to stand down, they applaud.
Yeah.
Now that is remarkable.
Yeah.
So we're getting people who are coming into the Brexit Party, and they come from every walk of life. We've got nurses, we've got consultant surgeons, we've got rear admirals, we've got taxi drivers, we've got decorated
recruited
soldiers.
by LinkedIn or recruited by.
Well, LinkedIn was a way that we found some of them, but
in Peter by-election, for example.
But just that's right. But just remarkable. That these people are doing it for the right reasons. They're not doing it because they actually want to be MPs. They're not doing it for careers in politics. They want to get Brexit finished. And they recognise one thing. If you leave the Conservative Party to their own devices without an electoral threat, they will never do it.
Why are you standing against ERG members like Mark Francois, Steve Baker and others who entirely agree with you on Brexit? Why are you fighting the people who
Well, the way to fight an election is not on day one to think about where you won't stand. It's to make sure you've got candidates to stand everywhere, and that's what we're doing. And then we'll make the tactical decision, seat by seat, what the right thing to do.
So you look at that, because Philip Hollowbone, I think, he had to deal with UKIP in 2017, I think, and little deals happen here and there.
I tell you what, let's talk bigger than that, shall we? Let's talk much bigger than that. Let's talk much bigger than Philip Hollowbone's seat. If Boris Johnson decides that the right thing to do is to go for a clean break Brexit, then we would stand down. We would want to help Conservative
in
candidates.
the north, in the northern Labour type seats.
Well, in the northern Labour type. Well, no, it's the other way round.
Right.
Take Pontefract for argument's sake.
Yeah.
There's a constituency with a 70% Leave vote. They've got Yvette Cooper, lucky them, as their MP, who, despite all her promises, has done her damnedest to stop Brexit from happening. A Brexit Party candidate against Yvette Cooper without a Conservative candidate can win. A Conservative candidate without a Brexit Party candidate can't win. So there are areas in South Wales, the Midlands and the north of England where the Brexit Party is the challenger to the Labour Party. Look at Peterborough. We were the challenger to Labour in Peterborough.
Close in Peterborough.
All right? And so what happened? Because the Conservatives still got 20%.
Can you win without data? I look at Peterborough, and your guys go in and they don't know where any of the voters are. When you've got Labour and the Tories, they go back decades. They know where everyone lives, and that's how they beat you. They beat you on data every single time.
Yeah, I do accept that. In a by-election, I accept that. In a general election, it's a little bit different because there are 651 seats being simultaneously.
Still matters,
fought.
though.
It still matters, and we have actually got the computer programs now in place to do this job properly. I'm not pretending we haven't got a huge amount to do.
You said that to me years ago about your computer programs, and you haven't yet won a by-election.
Well, your rivals in the Times newspaper wrote yesterday how impressed they were with the technology we've now got in place to fight this campaign.
Can I come in and see it?
So I think we could probably let
the podcast in.
I think we could probably let you in and have a look at it. Yeah. I tell you what, we'll do that.
Okay, but you got a good chance. And how many MPs might you end up with? Let's say a snap election, November the 1st.
No idea.
No one's listening.
Let me tell you what my electoral strategy is. All right. If Boris goes with this awful, miserable European treaty, even without the backstop, we will fight against him in every single seat in the country, and he will not win the election. All right?
But you let Jeremy Corbyn in. Now, how on earth is that a good thing?
No. Brexit is the defining issue of our times. All right? It's the defining issue of our times. Boris will not win a majority. He won't be able to if we fight against him. If he goes down the withdrawal route, we'll do that. But that is not what I want to do.
No.
I want Brexit to happen. I want Boris to go for a clean break Brexit, and we will then give whatever
You've got victory.
support we can give him. We will put country before party, and support Boris Johnson. And you know something? With our support, together with Boris Johnson's support, we'd be unstoppable.
Do you worry you're handing a free pass to Jeremy Corbyn? I mean, Jeremy Corbyn's politics is so not where you are.
I don't think you understand what I'm saying. I'm saying to you that if we get behind Boris Johnson and he does the right thing, not only will he win a big majority, he'll be a hero.
Are you in talks behind the scenes with the Tory party about your strategy? Do they know what you're saying?
No,
they'll listen to the podcast.
No, actually, I mean, I only unveiled this, Chris, 48 hours ago.
Yep.
And you are the first sit-down interview I've done since then.
Yeah. So they haven't made any attempt to listen to it?
No, but they will think about it, I'm sure. And I mean, I can't be more generous than to say there are significant parts in the country where I would say publicly, these are the candidates to support.
But any deal with you would just divide the Tory, all those Remainers on the sort of left of the Tory party would just clear off the Lib Dems or somewhere. There's a massive risk for Boris Johnson doing anything with
choice, isn't he? Do you want Philip Hammond's support or millions of people who support the Brexit Party?
Do you think we're seeing basically 3 years after the referendum result, finally the major parties are aligning themselves with that vote? Is that what's going on?
It's happening, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's happening. You're seeing the Remain alliance. You saw in the Brecon and Radnor by-election where 3 political parties got around one candidate. And I'm talking potentially about the Brexit forces in this country having a non-aggression pact in a general election, and he would win a big majority.
What's your price to be a minister if in a victorious?
I'm not interested in
you're not. Come on. You want the car. You want the car and the gongs.
I know that you find this difficult because you think I'm like all the rest of them. I'm not. I'm only in politics because I want to change the future direction of this country. Once it's done, I'll be very happy. Thank you.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Nigel Farage, thanks for coming on Chopper's Brexit podcast.